Hey there everybody, hope your day is going well. Jacared with Old School Gaming here, and welcome to the very first Thoughtful Thursday. Hoy, buckle in, this is gonna be a long one. Hell, Intermediary Vlog 4 didn't take too long to edit, fortunately, and hell, while I have time, might as well get Thoughtful Thursday on the road. So, to continue my thoughts from the end of Super Mario 64, yeah. If you're the type of person who just quits a job immediately after stopping, you. Okay? Because, God, I still, it's been over a year, and I still can't wrap my head around what in the hell that one idiot said. Just, oh, well, I can't make it in today because I'm having financial troubles. Sorry, what? My brain just did a soft boot off of how utterly stupid that sentence is. If you have financial troubles and you're calling into work, that makes about as much sense as a boat shop in a desert town. If you have financial troubles, you go into work, and then you get paid for those hours you work, and you have less financial troubles. Yeah. don't even get me started on that idiot. Here's the thing. If you want to leave a terrible employer, I completely understand that. I mean, hell, I left Walhall after 3.5 years of being there, and 3.5 years way too long. But thing is, I didn't burn any bridges at all. And, if you want to quit someplace without any notice, at least without any notice to employer, at the very least, let your coworkers know. Because if you just up and quit and disappear and don't tell anyone, then your hours will have to be covered by someone else. And that other person's going to be like, well, you better not use me for a reference, because if you do, I'm going to tell the employer, well, if I was trying to hire, if I knew what I knew and he wanted to be hired by me, I wouldn't hire him. At all. So with that in mind, I've actually seen several different people post on Facebook like, "Hey, does anyone know if any jobs are hiring around here?" And it's just, did you even step outside of the house and look around? Because everybody is hiring. Every single time I go down the store to buy some groceries, every single place has now hiring signs or some, like a text to apply to this 5-digit number, and we will send you a link for the application. We offer this and this and that, and so on and so forth. Here's the thing: if you live close enough to a main road, you don't even need to be able to drive. You just walk down the road and start applying to everything within a decent walking distance. Just keep in mind that, during, inclement weather, whether it's, high winds or rain or snow, but if you do start to work there, just, just keep in mind that there's going to be a little bit extra walk time, so give yourself some extra time to actually get to work. And even with some people asking, hey, is there anybody hiring, there are some who do ask more specifically. Some people ask, oh, hey, I need a job that can work around daycare hours, or I just got out of the hospital, but I still want to work. I just don't want to do anything too exertive and, screw something up. Or, some people do have felonies, and so they say, hey, what places around here are hiring that will hire someone with a felon record? Okay, yeah. In any of those situations, there are definitely restrictions on what you would apply for, and that would be willing to work with whatever your situation might be. And some people try to say, hey, I've applied everywhere and no one's calling me. Okay, how long ago did you apply? Less than 12 hours ago? Because the thing is, like any job that puts up a now hiring sign is going to get a lot of applications sent in. But even still, even with, like online applications, there's no automated process to filter out, who wants a job more. It's first come, first serve, or, well, first come, first to look at. And even regarding that, they are still human. They work a certain amount of hours every day. I mean, hell, like most places would be like a 9 to 5 for the HR hiring place or whatever. I worked for a few companies that have had like, we don't call them HR, we call them something different because we're innovative. Whatever. Even still, most of the time it's most HR departments will do a 9 to 5 shift, give or take, maybe an hour or two before or an hour or two after, just depending on what the company has. And another thing to keep in mind is, marijuana. Marijuana has been legalized in several states. I don't even know how many. Let me look that up. So, currently, it's apparently 19 different states that have legalized marijuana. But even still, a lot of companies that do like drug testing through a UA or some other method, if they see marijuana in your system, they'll say, no, no, not at all. Which personally I think is complete and total BS. I mean, what the hell is that? You don't fire an alcoholic for going home and drinking a case of beer after work. You fire an alcoholic for drinking on the job, yeah. But going home and having a few beers? No, no, he's not fired. But if you go home and have a joint, you're immediately fired. No question. What the hell? Anyway, back to the point. So, first impressions are definitely key. I mean, you make a good first impression, you kind of got your foot in the door already. However, with most places, an online application is, well, they don't really see you. But if you have a resume, then you can upload that and show them, hey, I'm a little prepared, little more prepared. And hell, with Android devices, you can actually download a free Microsoft Word. I'm not. I mean, that's like Windows thing. I'm not sure what the alternative, like for Apple Mac users, would be. Like what the parallel of Word is for that stuff. Hell, if someone does know, please put it in the comment section below, and I'll definitely pin your comments so that way everyone can see exactly what it's called. Now, thing is, when you are saving the resume, so that way eventually you can start uploading it, it's obviously going to be a resume. That's the only thing that's going to be uploaded to these application websites. So just naming it resume is kind of redundant. They know exactly what it is, but who does it go to? If it's just resume, who knows? So just put, instead of saving it as resume, just save it as your name. Whatever your name might be. John Smith, I don't know. And then that way, when they're like going, hey, how about that John Smith we were talking about? Well, let me just look up the resume, and most likely it'll be in alphabetical order, so okay, go down to the J's, and there he is. John Smith, let's hire him. Okay, so secondly, you need to actually fill it out. I know Microsoft Word has like a bunch of, or had a bunch of templates. I'm not sure if it still does. I think the full version does, but maybe the free version doesn't. I haven't really used the free version, I just know it's there. But anyway, and hell, I don't even have a paid version because it's kind of ridiculous to have to pay every single year just to use one thing that I personally, I don't use it often enough to actually pay for it. Maybe some people do. But regardless, I'm getting off topic. So, at the, if you want to use a resume template, go right ahead. If not, then try to make up something, or try to do something so that way it looks neat and organized and whatnot. So, at the very top, you want your full name, first, middle, and last. Well, unless you have a really long middle name. I mean, hell, for me, my middle name only has, four letters. So I can put my full middle name right there at the top. But take my sister, for instance. She has actually quite a lengthy middle name. So for her, it would just be middle initial. Well, whatever you want to do is up to you at that. Then you need a method of contact. So, easiest thing, a phone. Something that you'll always have on you pretty much, well, mostly all the time, and that someone can reach you at almost any time. And possibly, if you can, get a second number on there as well, like a secondary way to call you. And you don't have to have a second phone. It could be like, if you live with someone and, like maybe you're close enough friends or your family, then yeah, first ask if, hey, can I put your number down as a second way to contact me in case my phone decides not to work for some reason? And if they say yes, hey, you got a second method of contact. If they say no, oh well. And if you miss the call, whether maybe you fell asleep, maybe you were in the shower, maybe you were cooking in the other room or doing something, I don't know. The list can go on and on, but if you miss the call, then make sure your voicemail is either the standard, oh, thank you for calling, blah 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 blah, so, insert phone number here. Please leave a voice message, blah blah blah, beep. Or you can just, like record your name, or, don't have it as like a joke voicemail machine message. That can be fun, but, if you're expecting an important call and you think, well, if I miss it, they'll get that, yeah, you probably shouldn't. Okay, and that's just in case you miss a call. When you call back, say, most likely they'll say, hey, this is, the hiring person for this company. Please give me a call back at this number so we can talk. But when you do answer the phone, you don't just answer it going, Waza! Yeah, I'm a 90s kid. But, you want to say, hello, this is me. And if you did miss a call and you have to call them, just say, hello, this is me, I missed your call, I'm here to talk now. And also, in like the ways of contact, make sure you include an email. And hell, we're in the 21st century here, so yeah, you definitely need an email. However, this is actually kind of funny because it was a while back. I was in the boss's office because I was trying to pick up some extra work shirts, and I ended up talking with the hiring boss there, and he's just, yeah, because we do most of our stuff by email, a lot of people try to ask me, hey, can I come to the keyboard and type in the email myself? Yeah, you do realize he's still gonna see that, right? And he's still gonna see it every single time he sends out an email, right? So when using an email, make sure whatever handle it is, is something that you would be willing to repeat back to your grandmother. If not, you need to change it. Or if you can't change it, find a way to make another email just for work. And, generally a first name dot last name at whatever domain, that'll work. But, the problem with that is that, a lot of people do share names. Hell, I'm sure if I Googled my name, I'd find a bunch of people with my first and last name. So you can definitely, put in a couple numbers to, make it unique, whether it's, your current age, your birth year, maybe your kid's birth year, or something. Just, to make it unique so that way it's not already taken and you can use it. So after that, next comes, the reason why you're searching for a job. Especially if you already have a job, why are you searching for a different job? Is this, are you going to quit that job? Are you going to make this one part-time, work that one full-time? What's going on? And, that can really just be as generic as you like. Just, try to put it in your own words so that way when someone asks you, you can essentially repeat the same thing that you already put on the resume. After that comes job history. So, there are some things that look good and some things that look bad. First thing that looks good is a long-term employment with a single place. And there is one exception I can think of to that, would be like seasonal parks that are only open for a certain time of the year. Like, hell, in Colorado, there's, different amusement and water parks that, they're only open certain times of the year. And if you put on your resume, hey, I worked here every summer for the last 3 years, and, a new employer is going to look at it and go, oh, okay, so you only worked there on, during the time that it was open, but you managed to stay all 3 years. That's good. Or maybe you worked, another job, and oh wow, you worked this full time job that is year round, 3 years running. Cool. And you would also want to include the full name and a contact number for your previous boss. And you don't have to give out the boss's personal number. It can just be like, oh hey, here's the store's number, and they might have to either go through an automated system or talk to a few people and go, yes, I want to talk to so and so. And if the previous employer, you want to put okay to contact, yes, because that looks good. And if you say, yeah, go ahead and contact my previous boss, and the previous boss says, oh, damn, they're leaving, well, sucks to have them go, but they're a good worker. Hopefully that's what the boss says. And also, your your starting job title, if you moved anywhere in the company, your starting job title and your ending job title, along with, descriptions of oh, hey, when I was in this position, I did this. And in the final position, I did this. And in between, I did other stuff. Now, the things that look really, really bad and pretty much, I shouldn't say guarantee a rejection, but greatly lower your chances of getting accepted. Well, first and most, at least, what would be most obvious to me, is short-term employment with many, many different companies. It's like, well, okay, you lasted, what, a month there, 2 weeks there, 3 months here, 2 months there? What the hell? Why do I want to hire you? I don't want to waste the time getting the paperwork of getting you into the system, and then you quit suddenly, and now I have to do even more paperwork to get you out of the system. Just as soon as I finished all the work of getting you into the system, now I'm taking you out. No one wants to hire anyone that's going to be doing that. And also, if you put okay to contact no, you need to give a damn good reason for it. I mean, hell, I actually do have a situation where, I put okay to contact no for a previous employer because the place is shut down. It doesn't exist anymore, at least not in that location. I don't know if they moved or just completely closed down. I don't know what in the hell happened. But, essentially, if I'm filling out a job application, they're asking, hey, why can't we contact this place? Well, because there's no one to call. Hell, I haven't even driven past in actually quite a few years, but last time I drove past, someone else just took over the building. I can't even remember. Even if I did remember, I probably couldn't say liability and all that. But yeah, there's nobody to contact. They can definitely check with, Department of Labor or something to find out, hey, I'm looking for records on this person to see if they were actually employed from this time to this time at this place. And yeah, there was probably somebody somewhere that can actually get that done. Yeah, also, having a lot of spelling errors looks really bad. Hell, especially if you're using Word to type it up, the little red underline means it's misspelled. Come on now. And, sometimes I do look at certain things and go, okay, what in the hell were you trying to type here? Okay, I can see how. Maybe, you mix up the R and the T. Whether you're typing on a physical keyboard or a little phone keyboard, sometimes you can accidentally tap the wrong button. Hell, I've done it plenty of times. But then again, there's some things that I just look at and my brain just stops reading it altogether. I have to force myself to try and start reading because it is just so horribly misspelled. It's actually kind of ridiculous. And also, if you have absolutely no explanation of your previous jobs or what you did or how you contributed to everything, then, a new employer is just going to look, so what, you're just there for the paycheck? Did you not know what you do? Come on, get it together now. Finally, at the very bottom of the resume, you should have 3 references. Having less than that, come on, don't you know people? Having more than that, it's just, okay, how many people do you want to give you a reference? Come on now. Keep it to 3. 3 is a good flat number, and hell, if they get a call, they get a call. And do try to keep the references a little more professional than personal. Because obviously, family. If you have just family down as reference, they might lie to make you look good. But if you're bad at your job, then you've just made them a liar, and you're at least in trouble. But just as with everything, there is an exception to this. So if you're still new to even having a job, personal references are just fine. Just live up to what, other people are going to be saying about you. I mean, hell, if they're family, you definitely know what they're going to be saying about you. So after, the resume is done and everything, eventually comes the interview. What I've noticed, at least recently since 2020, is a lot of, over camera interviews instead of in person. Some places probably still do in person, but yeah. Make sure you have a phone that can, actually do a video call, so that way you can just, oh, hey, what's up? And if it is in person, do I even? Oh, I have a leather-bound binder just over there on the table, but it's it's buried under some books. I do not feel like delicately balancing those books and getting everything off just to get that. So anyway, if you have a leather-bound binder, that actually does make you look a little more professional, even if you're not. And inside the leather-bound folder, make sure to have a handful of copies. Not just one copy. Well, I'm only applying here. No, have 5 or 6 copies and hand the person who's giving you the in-person interview 1 copy. And then they will see that, oh, you have multiple copies of your resume. I don't know, do we want to hire this person, or do we want to let them slip away and go somewhere else? And hell, you can go down to any, shipping packaging store or whatever, and have, a handful of copies printed for less than $1. Hell, even in full color, it'd still be less than $1. And while you're on the interview, whether it's, through a video call or in person, make sure you're asking questions as well. Hey, what is the starting rate of pay? How often do higher paying positions open up? Do you promote from within? And actually, that last one is kind of important. If a company doesn't like to promote from within, get the hell out. Just get out. The biggest problem with hiring in people who have absolutely no experience in your work to be in a management position is what causes a lot of turnover. A lot. Trust me. Okay, so that's it for the resume. But there is still, hey, where do I apply? What places are hiring? Well, there are actually 3 types of jobs that are always hiring no matter what. With the first being fast food. Yeah, it's certainly not the most glorious, and hell, the pay is bare minimum wage. Definitely not enough to live on or support a family. And how even pay increases. Pay increases are unlikely, and even when they do happen, it's more of a joke. But it can actually, provide at least some money until you find something better. And hell, you're not the only one working there, are you? Talk to other people. Talk to your coworkers. Like, hey, where did you work previously? What are the qualifications to get there? What's the pay? How do I get there? Essentially, I mean, it's not interrogation, but it is interrogation. You're basically getting as much information out of them as possible to find out, hey, is there a place that pays better than this fast food bull crap? Yeah, and there's actually quite a few if you look around. But, as I said, fast food places are always hiring because it's essentially a revolving door of employment. No one wants to work minimum wage because, honestly, you shouldn't be working minimum wage at long term unless you already have another job, or maybe you're in school and you just need something to help with some, maybe some things you want to buy. So the second place that would pretty much always be hiring is retail. And I would not recommend wall hell, but I mean, the option's still there. Now, some might say that, hey, isn't that essentially the same thing as fast food, customer service? Yes and no at the same time. There are two key differences to, fast food versus retail. In retail, generally, I've noticed some retail places do pay minimum wage to start, but some other places they will pay slightly over minimum wage. Not quite a living wage, but just slightly over. And the second key difference is, in fast food, you might be scheduled for 8 hours, but oh hey, we're not getting any business right now. Things are slow. You've worked 4 hours of your shift. Go home. Go home early. Whereas in retail, if you're scheduled to work an 8-hour shift, you're going to work that full 8-hour shift, plus the breaks and whatnot. You're not going home early unless there's an actual emergency. Well, let's hope not. And hell, in a retail store, there's plenty of people working there. You can still, question people about, hey, what did you do previously? Was it higher paying than this? Why'd you leave? How do I get there? How do I get my foot in that door? Especially talk to the ones are leaving. I mean, hell. It was, yeah, hell, for me, when I was finally leaving Walmart, God, yeah, every single person that asked me, oh, where are you going? Do you know what it pays? What's the job? And I was more than happy to tell them, like, yeah, get the hell out of Walmart. This is bullcrap, the way you were treated and everything. Yeah, hell, I knew of an opportunity that definitely pays more, and hell, I honestly don't know if anyone actually applied, but hell, hell, it was about a couple weeks after I quit. I was actually in the area and I needed some stuff, so I went, screw it. It's right here. Might as well. Went in to grab a couple things, talked to a couple of, well, what were now my former coworkers, and I'm just, yeah, dude, this pays so much more and it's so much better. Come and work. All you have to do is apply. Now, lastly is, well, private security. Some people might call it, oh, it's a rent-a-cop job, haha, or, oh, you're just a secretary with a badge. Yeah, go ahead, call me whatever the hell you want. I don't care. Here's the big thing, and it was the big thing for me. Before I even started working security, every single year when I would file my taxes, I would always make, less than 20,000 a year, which means I always got, a tax break. Once a year, woohoo, tax break, whoopity frickin' doodah. However, once I started working, actually, I worked wall hell for 6 months. Then I worked security for 6 months. The thing is, I missed an entire week of work with security because my old Rolls Canardly broke down. My old vehicle rolls down one hill, Canardly's up the next. Yeah, so I ended up missing a whole week of work without pay. But even still, I made so much more money that I broke well past the under 20,000. And I'm just, wait, as I was filing my taxes, I'm just, holy crap, wait, did I really make that much more? I went back to my W-2s, and instead of just, scanning them or whatever, I actually looked at them, and I'm just, wow, I made so much more money with security than I did working this piece of crap job. Guess which job I'm keeping? And hell, ever since working security, I've actually made slightly more every single year just because, I'm always the first to be called when, oh, hey, we need someone to work overtime, well, some places do actually play pretty well. Hell, the place I'm at actually pays really well, especially compared to some places. And that's the thing with private security. Like, some places will pay jack. Other places will pay great. And obviously, armed security definitely pays a bit more. It all depends on, like, do you want to be armed or not? I mean, if you don't, hell, I'm not. If you don't, then, hell, there's plenty of places. If you do, there's a few more places. Now, for liability reasons, I cannot say, I can't name the company where I currently work. In fact, I actually go to lengths to make sure that absolutely nothing from work appears on camera. Hell, I do my job, I get a paycheck, and that's really where the relationship with my job ends. Yeah, I'm not a representative for the company, and if I did name, like if I said, hey, I work at the Super Duper Mart, obviously not a real company, but you get the point. If I said I work for, some company, then all of a sudden everything I ever have said, everything I ever will say, becomes attached to that company. And hell, there's been plenty upon plenty of cases we've all seen where someone posts something stupid online, and then it gets attached to that company, and the company says, no, we want nothing to do with that. They are fired. And hell, a quick Google search shows that there are plenty of private security companies all over the place. So, yeah, just do a Google search for, private security jobs. And then go from there. Alright, well, that's going to be it for this Thoughtful Thursday. Thankfully, not much editing for this one. The next one is the idea where it's going to take a long time to edit, but I at least, with this recorded and once I get edited, I'll at least have some more breathing room than I already have, so that way I can, try and stay ahead of the curve as much as possible. And that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit that bell so you can always be notified whenever I upload another video. And of course, have fun.